allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to the September already regular school board meeting. First item on the agenda is adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Gibney.
Yep, I don't have any adjustments to the agenda this month.
Okay. Next item on the agenda are public comments regarding agenda items. Do we have anyone that would like to comment on one of on an agenda item? Okay, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is recognitions, Mr. Gibson.
Yep, so as we began a new tradition last year in recognizing students of the month for the great things and accomplishments that take place in our classrooms, athletic fields, in the community, in our buildings, we wish to continue with that process. So if we have Mrs. Johnson, would like to begin. I'm nervous too.
Okay, good deal. All right. Well, Cohen is our first student of the month for the 21-22 school year. And the reason is I'm holding two pieces of paper. He was nominated by two different people in our building. So I kind of think that just was amazing. Cohen is a current kindergartner in Mrs. Harvey's class. And she writes, Cohen is a responsible young man. He always has the correct tools out and ready to learn. He listens and follows directions and can be an excellent example of a responsible student. I really enjoy having Cohen in class and can see him being very successful in his school years. Our second staff member, Mrs. Mulryan, she says, he had a rough first couple of days, and sometimes kindergartners, we struggle being away from moms, right? Cohen, Mrs. Johnson too. And he got things together very quickly. He is a huge helper in the classroom, always on task and participates. He is a sweet kid who always asks how others' days have been. The other students really look up to him, especially our TK kids. He brightens up everyone's day a bit when he says hi, and he's overall a really great kid. So congratulations, Cohen Oswald.
All right.
All right, I am here to recognize Ella O'Hare. Ella, want to come up here with me? You look nice. Ella is a second grader in Mrs. Riggle's classroom, and Mrs. Riggle nominated Ella, saying, Ella is a wonderful part of our second grade classroom. She is a hard worker who is very responsible with her schoolwork and school supplies. What I love about Ella is her desire to learn. Ella is the type of student who gives meaning to the teaching profession. She will work on something until she understands it, and she will ask for help if something is unclear to her. Ella puts such care into everything she works on in class, and she is truly proud to put her name on her assignments because she knows she did her absolute best. Ella O'Hare.
We're taking pictures in front of our new photo backdrop in the other room. Mrs. Rhodes?
I'm a little shorter. Pull this thing down. So TZ does our student of the month a little bit different. We have our classrooms each select a student of the month. So we have 20 classrooms that turn in a name and a teacher nominates, and those kids are all recognized as our building student of the month. And then Mrs. Asbell and Ms. Handy and I take those 20 students, and we look at what the teachers have said and determine who is going to be our building level student of the month. And so I am proud to recognize Hudson Inman. Hudson is a 5th grader in Mrs. Stevens' class, and it is written that Hudson was chosen as the August Student of the Month for Mrs. Stevens' classroom and for our school for many different reasons. First, Hudson is always kind and polite to his classmates and all adults in the building. Hudson is the first student willing to volunteer to help a classmate, to help a teacher, or to help another adult when they need an extra hand. Hudson has a very unique sense of humor, and he brings joy and humor to our school daily. Hudson is very deserving of the August Student of the Month.
Mrs. Cup?
So we also do grade level Student of the Month for our building, and then based on that, the student is selected for the Student of the Month to come represent our building. And Allie was selected not only by her 8th grade teachers, but some of her 7th grade teachers and the related arts teachers also. So she was a great example for us. Mrs. Smith says Allie is a fantastic student that always tries her best and is always willing to help out other students. And Mrs. Nicklash said Allie is always kind to her peers and teachers. She's so good about doing her work and asking questions as well as helping students who need. Allie is an amazing young lady who leads by example with kindness to see. Congratulations.
Mr. Rogers?
We do not have an August, we do September, and we'll be in October.
Gotcha.
Sorry for the confusion.
No, you're fine. Thank you. And obviously, I just want to recognize our students and staff we've almost completed the first 9 weeks of school, and I think everyone has done a fabulous job of just dealing with the challenges that have been thrown their way and just continuing to provide good opportunities for student learning throughout our school district. So just commending our students and staff.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, which consists of meeting minutes from August 23rd, 2001, the regular board meeting, and September 13th, 2021, I guess, the work session. The allowance of claims, the financial report, and the personnel reports, parts 1 and 2, which are posted on the door and on the school website. So I guess we're here from Mrs. Romer.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
In your finance packet, you're going to see at the very beginning, 2 regular payrolls for the month of August, one dated August 6, 2021, for a total payroll of $387,932.47. And along with that, payroll came the accounts payable for taxes and retirement for a total accounts payable for the August 6 payroll, $116,587.27. The second regular payroll in August was August 20th for a total payroll of $413,460.47. And with the retirement and taxes, the accounts payable for that payroll was $118,985.77. We did have a mini payroll in August. There was a couple people that we did get their payrolls late, and those folks needed that payroll, so we went ahead and generated a mini payroll for them. That was dated August 25th for a total payroll of $975. And with that came the accounts payable, which was just for taxes only. There was no retirement on that one, $156.08. Next in your packet's going to be a list of prepays. There's nothing unusual on this list. Actually, it's a shorter list than usual. Did anyone have any questions about these prepays? No? Okay. For the list of prepays dated 8/1 through 8/31/2021, $318,970.90. And then, let's see here, we've got a list of claims dated today, September 27th, 2021. Did anyone have any questions? Did you look through there and have any questions about any of the claims for this month?
A lot cheaper than last month.
Yes, yeah, the summer's usually a lot more expensive for sure. Okay, if you didn't have any questions, I really don't have anything to point out to you. There's really nothing really unusual here. Dated today, 9/27/2021, total claims, $258,554.36. And are we ready to go ahead and move on to the financial report?
Yes.
Okay, next in your packet, you're going to see the fund report. Balance the end of August 2021, education fund was $1,400,163.40. Operation fund, the end of August 2021, $1,635,988.39. Total for all funds, if you want to go back to the last page, total for all funds is $6,270,662.39. Next in your package, you're going to see the depository statement and bank balances. You'll see all the bank balances there. In the second line, you'll see the less outstanding checks. And then at the bottom, you're going to see the August 2021 balance for all banks minus the outstanding checks. That total is $6,270,662.39. You'll see that that balance is with your fund report. Did anyone have any questions about the fund report, depository statement?
Not me.
Okay, then lastly, in the finance package, and you'll see these through our bond issue, you're going to see bond 2020 expenditures from the closing date of the bond, which was in July, through September. So these are a list of expenditures that we have incurred since we closed on the bond. You'll see that total there to date is going to be probably about September 15th, okay, when I generated this. Total to date is $1,055,382.98. And pending other questions, I'd like to submit for approval.
Okay, thank you.
I make the motion, we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Mrs. Romer. Next item on the agenda is reports. First from our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Frank.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So episode 3 of the podcast airs this Friday. Mr. Cox, we have this podcast happening in Castle to make sure that
I'm
you know
looking
about.
forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're dropping episode 3 on Friday, and so we're just trying to get some subscribers. We've got segments each episode that are kind of recurring, and it's just another way that we can get information out. We'll post it on our social media, so pass the word along and subscribe to that. Our after-school programs are finally fully staffed, thank goodness. So those are in full swing. So we are averaging about 88 to 100 a day at the elementary level and right around 80 a day at the middle school level. So we're busting at the seams there. So a lot of great stuff. The middle school is swimming today, and they had their cooking club going, so a lot of fun stuff. Elementary, we have on a weekly basis French, Spanish, and violin, and then on a daily basis gymnastics, tutoring, music, and art. So amazing stuff. 15 to 20 kids from DePaul coming over to help and volunteering each week. So it's been really exciting, and we still have a huge wait list and people calling all the time to try to look for those spots, but we haven't had very many people drop, obviously. So we're really excited to be part of that. And as you know, we did a lot of tutoring last year. To kind of give you an update with that, we served about 120 students K-12 with at least an hour of tutoring a week. So that may be more than that. And then finally, I just wanted to mention that we're beginning our TZ device adoption process. So our current lease is up next school year. So we're starting the research and evaluation phase. Our committee met for the first time today. So the goal of that is to have a final decision by the end of the year and bring that to you for an official proposal by the February board meeting, so we can get all of that ordered and have the devices here before the start of the 2022 school year, since there's been such a backlog on getting devices and parts for things. So we want to get that in early and get that taken
things are up. So we'll keep you kind of updated as we go along in that process. But that's all I have for you tonight.
Okay, great, thank you.
When you're looking into those devices, and I'm sure you're well ahead of this, can you look into the cases too? Watching the kids walk into schools and watching my kid try to get out of there with a band instrument and then the case strapped to her and then a backpack, it's
Yeah.
interesting to watch. So, smaller, thinner cases.
Yeah, we'll put that on our criteria list.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, next is the superintendent's report, Mr. Givney.
Yeah, so I have a few items to report on this month. First is I had the luxury of attending and actually leading a station in Apple activities in the TK, the transitional kindergarten classroom at Deer Meadow. And somehow or another, I got assigned the paint station. So you can imagine all the little kids with the paint. It kind of looked like finger painting. I'm not very artistic myself, but there are a lot of fun activities that Mrs. Burnham had planned, and she invited me to participate. And so it was just another great way to kind of celebrate the fall harvest, and it was just really nice to see a lot of smiles on those kids' faces. Mrs. Muncie worked the apple straws or applesauce station, and then there's another station where they made their own little miniature apple pies, and then Applejack, I think, necklaces. So it was really kind of, it was a fun day and just a good activity, hands-on activity for our kids. So certainly I appreciate being invited to those events. Also today, actually just kind of this past week, we've been, Mr. Welts and I have been working with Chief Sutherland, Mayor Dory in the city to add I'm turned around here, a crossing guard at Veterans Memorial and Percy Julian. Just with the amount of students walking to school now with the expansion of Woods Edge and Zinc Mill, it was just kind of a growing concern. And certainly when kids want to walk to school and get good exercise, I think that's a great idea. But now we have a crossing guard in place to help the students safely cross, just to even bring more attention and awareness to kids crossing the road. And really like to thank the mayor, city council, and Chief Sutherland for helping to accomplish that. They were great partners. Held the Fab Lab open house tonight at the middle school. There'll be other opportunities to showcase that new space that we're very, very proud of. On September, I think it was 17th, seems like a long time ago already, that was our first count day. And right now our estimates are 1,773 students, which is a growth of 69 students since last spring. So that's a huge positive for just growing enrollment and also bringing additional funding. An update on the turf and track project, that's still ongoing. Obviously the playing surface has been playable and the kids have been enjoying that during the day, during PE, for soccer and for football. It took a little bit, a while longer to get the track surface ready for paving. There were some bad subgrade, bad soils. And the first layer of asphalt went around the track today. The second or finished layer will go around that tomorrow. And then it'll have to cure for 14 days before they can come back and put the latex rubberized coating over the top of that. And then obviously finishing off with, our the fences, they're going to work on installing the fence. They have the material. They've bored the concrete sidewalks for the fence. And then finishing off with paving and sidewalk in what I would call like the plaza area to where you first enter Harbison Stadium, where there's rock and all that and some cracked sidewalk. It's not very accessible. That'll all be replaced and kind of working on that piece. We're almost reaching the finishing stages for the larger scope of the project, or the first couple of phases of the projects that will be complete at the high school and McAnally Center. We were finishing up focus group work. Now we're starting to look at some of the finer finishes, the carpeting, the colors, just the overall materials and design layout. So we're continuing to work with staff members to work through that, and hopefully next month maybe we can see some additional design drawings because we'll be going out to bid in November, and then awarding a bid in December, January. So that's very, very exciting. There's a lot more work to be done. I'm really excited about our academic spaces that will be touched, that will be amazing for our students and staff. To also go along with that, over fall break, we are conducting a variety of several different tests at TZ, in which actually our building will be unavailable for staff for 3 days. It'll be pressurized, and they'll be using some colored smoke to test. Essentially, we think there might be, the humidity levels have been fine, but we're still dealing with that somewhat. And so we think that there might be a leak in the footprint somewhere. And so we've been doing a lot of diagnostic testing in general, just to try and pinpoint what that is so that we can correct, because sometimes the papers feel damp, just feels damp, and we wanna fix that. So that'll be a good thing that takes place over fall break when staff is away. But that's all the updates that I have for this month.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is old business, and we have no old business. So under new business, the first item is a public hearing for the 2022 budget, the CPF plan, and the bus replacement plan.
Yeah, so as we presented last month, all those items were presented. Greencastle is a little bit different. The county council actually adopts and approves our budget. Our board will approve our CPF plans and bus replacement plans next month. And so this is just an opportunity for public comment on those items that have been advertised.
So we need to open a hearing at this point, right?
Yep.
So what we will do is we'll open the public hearing. Anyone wanting to comment on the 2022 budget, the CPF plan, and the bus replacement plan can do so at this time. Okay, hearing no comments, we'll close the hearing. And next item on the agenda is an approval request for the 2021-22 Center for Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services contract with the Indiana State Department of Health.
Yep, so it's just my recommendation as a part of needing those services for our students, approving that contract so that way those services can be provided to our kids.
Okay,
I make a motion that we approve that contract.
Second.
okay, a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is an approval request for the VALIC restatement for adoption.
Yeah, so really nothing's changing on our end, but just as the IRS updates tax code and there are new laws that are passed, periodically we have to amend and restate our plan so that way we remain compliant with the IRS. And essentially that's what this document is or does. And we definitely want to remain in their good graces. So it is my recommendation that the board approve the restatement for adoption.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is always the best part, donations. We have 4 donations tonight. We can approve them all together. First is from Hendricks Regional Health to Greencastle High School Athletics for $10,000. Second is Epic Insurance to Greencastle High School Athletics, the amount of $1,500. Myers Market to Greencastle High School Athletics for $1,500. And the Gary and Linda Huber Cultural Arts and Learning to Greencastle High School Art Department for $500. I think we,
Make a motion, we accept that.
Second time.
okay, I have a motion and a second to accept all these generous donations. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you to everyone for that.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is other business. Does anyone have any other business to discuss or bring up?
I was gonna ask about the new crossing guard, and I'm glad we have it.
Yeah, the city was able to move one of their existing crossing guards. That person graciously volunteered to make that adjustment. 'Cause we have a lot more kids crossing the road right there than we ever had.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I second?
Okay,
Who made the motion? Yeah, thank you.
okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you for coming. See you next month, and be careful going home.